Hey Hot Mess fans, we're going to be doing the Wet n Wild Spoiled Brat palette. So if you're interested in this eye look, then stay tuned and keep watching and I'll show you how to do it. Makeup time! Okay, so my face, I did clean it really well, and then I did a toner, my Witch Hazel, and then I prepped my face with some Skin Renew Anti-Puff Eye Roller. I don't know if this really works or not, but whatever, I have it. Might as well use it. And then I moisturized with Jergens Natural Glow Express. Gives me a little bit of a glow, not much. Don't put too much on or else you look like you rubbed Nutella all over your face. So after that dries off and everything, I am going to put foundation. Actually, I'm going to do BB cream first. L'Oreal Youth Code BB cream. I have it in light. BB cream you can use on its own, or you can use it underneath a foundation. It's good because it's got all kinds of different little sunscreens, moisturizer. Even though I moisturized my face already, I like the added coverage that it gives you. So I'm gonna do this. I usually just pat it on my face. And then don't forget your neck. And then I'm gonna swirl it around. Okay, I'm going to go over it with some foundation. I'm using L'Oreal True Match Lumini. And usually it's in one of those little pump things. So I got one of these art little trays. I got this at Michael's. They're about $1 or something. So I just use this and I squeeze a couple, about 3 or 4. Because I like a lot of coverage. And I will use my brush again. And I just tap it in there. Like this, and then I go back and tap it on my face, and I will definitely use this also. Make sure you get your neck, swirl it by your ears, just the leftover part on your ears, so you don't, in the back of your neck, especially if you're wearing your hair up. And then swirl it around. You can even do your eyes a little bit. I'm going to go for the highlighted look underneath my eyes, and I usually go for the white. This is the ELF Under Eye Concealer and Highlighter. I usually go for the lighter one, but since I'm really not going anywhere, I'm going to go ahead and use the lighter shade. I end up getting the lighter shade for a concealer, but they have different colors as far as having a concealer. You can do a little darker. I like to do like a triangle like thing on both sides, and I'm not trying to hide any kind of bags or anything, because that's not going to happen for me, but what I'm trying to do for myself is go ahead and highlight the underneath part. I ended up getting one of these EcoTool foam applicators, and I'm going to use this. I got this specifically for under eyes, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to spray it a little bit too with my e.l.f. stuff just to get it slightly damp, and then I'm just going to go underneath it and pat like that. Okay, so all that's done. I've got my foundation and my concealer or highlighter. Wet n Wild a series right now for the makeup tutorials that I'm doing for the next few weeks. I am going to be doing each little what do you call these, little palettes, I guess you can call. There's just the small ones, and you can usually, well, I say just small ones, but they have other ones, so I'm going to try to go through all of them. But most of them have 3 shades, and there'll be a couple that there's 6 shades, so that'll be a 2-parter for those videos. But each makeup tutorial, I'm going to go through all of the Wet n Wild colors, so that way you can see what they're supposed to look like on, because some of them can look intimidating. I mean, this looks really pretty, the pink and the black and the gray, but sometimes when you put it on, you're like, what the heck? Or you look at it and go, what the heck, that's not going to look good. But once you see it on somebody, you're like, oh, that's really nice. And I'm big supporter of Wet n Wild. I don't know if they reformulated something on their makeup or whatever, but back in the day, Wet n Wild used to be the cheap thing or inexpensive makeup to go, but it wasn't really good. And you know, fast forward it 20 years later, and I don't know when they did it or what, but I started getting them thinking, I'll just get it because they are inexpensive. This little three pan palette is only like $3, so that's pretty good. And the eyeshadows are amazing. The color payout is amazing. But with that being said, I am going to be using a base, but that's just because I like to use a base. But these colors are amazing. You don't need a base. That's how good they are. But we're going to get one just because I use a silver one called Silver Strike. I'm going to use a brush. This is Eco Tools, just an eyeshadow brush. I got it in the pack. What I'm going to do is just go in here and I'm just going to sort of scrape it on so I'm going to go in here. I'm just going to put it mostly on my lid, and then I'm going to blend it out a bit. And for this look, for this color setup that we have, I'm a big fan of the smoky eye, so I'm going to do this as a smoky eye. So I just go in here, I don't know if you could see, and I'm going to just put all of what I had on my brush, and then I'm going to blend it out just a little bit, just like this fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to just go over it lightly so I can blend the edges, just really quick over it like this. Same on this side. And I'm going to do my eyebrows really quick. Okay, so after you've applied your base and you've blended it up, we're going to go in with our palette here. Brow bone, crease, and lid. And because I have used this before, I know that the silver is really potent, and the color payoff is fabulous if you're using it for something else. But as a highlight, you gotta be careful to do a smoky eye, and I'm going to be smoking it out with the black, the sparkly black that I have on here. So yeah, the pink is going to go on the lid, and I will use a eyeshadow brush. I'm going to go in there with this, just like this, and you want to knock it off just a little bit like this, so you don't get crazy time, but it's still on there. And then you're just going to pat it on, right on top of the base, because I like this pink and I want it to pop, because I'm going to have all this black coming in. So I usually do it on the inner part of the eye for my smoky eye technique, and then I'll put it up just a little bit over the crease there. Usually I will just use a blending brush, but I'm going to go in here with an angle brush with the black, and I'm just going to go in there and go like this with just the edge of it like that. You can knock it off a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a V shape. So from my outer lid, just go like this, and then I'm going to go in on my crease. Load up my brush again. You don't have to go all the way in. You see how I didn't go all the way in? But you can if you like. So then I'm going to turn around. I'm going to get one of these. It's a blending brush as well, but it's a little bit thinner, or at least tapered than this one. So I'm going to go in and start blending. I'm going to go back with the fluffy brush, and I'm going to go on the edge. Well, right there on the edge. I'll go back and forth. This is going to further smoke it out and blend it. Now, after all that blending action, my pink is not looking as vibrant as I'd like it to. So I'm going to go back in with the brush get some more pink on there. And then I'm going to go over it again. Just on the lid part. You are going to go back with your blending brush and just go over it just once or twice so you can get that blended feel again, which is a little bit easier since most of the dark is blended already. One of my angled fluffy brushes. Now, I told you that this eyeshadow is really, really potent. So, and I've used it before, so I know how potent it is. When I first did it, I was like, whoosh! And I was like, whoa! Okay, so I've learned my lesson. So always go in with a light hand, and then you can always build on there. So I'm going to use this, tap it in there just a little bit. So you get about that. And then you just go in there. And it's usually just the arch where I go. Maybe a little bit further, but mostly I start with the arch. So I go right here. And just blend it in. Go in with the other side, which is just a round eyeshadow brush. I'm still not liking that silver right there. So next time I ever use this, I won't use that silver as a highlight because it almost makes my whole eyes look too dark. Ugh. Because as much as I like my whole eye to be encompassed with makeup, a lot of it's right in the you know, the lid and the socket area mostly, and it blends up. And then you just have like a little bit of shimmer on the the brow bone, but that's too dark. It's too dark to be on the brow bone for me. And maybe it's just me. Keeping with, I don't know. Wet n Wild, I'm going to use the sugar color, which is white, and it's got a little shimmer in it. So I'm going to try to fix this monstrosity. I'm going to use the same angled fluffy brush and go in. Alright, I think that saved it a little bit. Not too much. I won't ever use that as a highlighter on my brow bone because that just makes it just go crazy. Okay. Eyeliner. Let's put some of that on. Right now I'm using Maybelline Eye Studio in gel in the blackest black. Patow. That's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to be using the Sonia Kashuk eyeliner pen. I love this one because it's like got a tapered tip, so you can make it really thick or wet. Usually thick because I end up messing up. So if you have any pink eyeshadow that may have dropped underneath your eyes, try to get that off a little bit. Most of the time the fallout's not too bad, especially if you have a primer because it catches everything. But you don't want the pink on there unless you actually look good with it, because a lot of people that have pink and or reds underneath their eyes make them look sick. So eyeliner is done. Now we are going in for lashes, and I'll be right back. Alright, eyelashes are done. I'm going to line my waterline with a black kohl pencil, so do that. Take a smudge brush. You can use this one. This is my favorite one, or you could take like one of these. Looks sort of like a pencil eraser like. Or I like this one better. To me, that works better for me. Other people might like this one a little bit better, but I'm going to use a smudge brush. And I'm just going to go underneath and smudge out whatever liner may be on the edge of the water line, just so it's not so harsh. Same go for this eye. It's like mascara on my lashes, on my falsy lashes, and that's only so I can push in my real lashes into the fake lashes. And I don't do too much. I just get into the in part of it, and then I focus on the bottom. I finished my face lashes off with Pearlescent Pink by kept with the Wet n Wild theme. Again, this is a really good color payoff for your blush, and for $3 or so, you can't go wrong. So I kept with that, and I used one of my fluffy brushes, and I put it just from like top cheekbone up. I just did that. And then I used whatever I had extra on the blush brush, which isn't much, just a little bit, so that way I can blend in on the side and then on my neck. And then for a highlight, I used Hard Candy. This is drugstore brand as well. Hard Candy So Baked Bronzer in Tiki, and that's what I used. I used one of these little smaller brushes, tapped it in there, and I just put it on the top part of my cheekbones there, and just a little bit right here, and then right here. You put it right there on your Cupid's bow, because when you do your lips, it makes them look a little bit fuller, or at least gives it the illusion that they're fuller. Because we have so much going on with the eyes, I'm going to keep it pretty calm. I'm going to use a lip liner, which usually you don't have to, but I'm going to just for the sake of the video. I'm using a Prestige lip liner in Sand. This is one of my go-to ones. It's just a nice neutral color, and especially for any kind of lipsticks that you're going to be using, that you want to have a nice shaped lip, but you don't want to go overboard. I like these. So NYC, which is another drugstore brand. It is Cafe. That's the name of the color, 301. And it's just a nice sort of frosty champagne color. Most of my stuff other than my mascara was drugstore brand, so you could definitely use anything. But this video was strictly for me to show you the Wet n Wild palette. So if you are interested in that one, I was using, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you liked it. There's another close-up look. Okay, all right. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.